Right, hello, we're back. Match week 12, preview predictions, let's get cracking. I think we can all agree that match week 11 was absolutely dreadful. It sums up the weekend with the Fulham versus Bournemouth, arguably two relegation candidates for match of the week. I mean, good God, I don't even think that the Brothers Man City was even that good. But there was a number of games that were just terrible. Leicester versus Palace being one of them. Man United versus Newcastle, I don't think even that was that great really. Don't get me wrong, there was a couple of big chances, but I don't think that was great. Just a dull match we done really. But other than that, a Bournemouth's run, they're still unbeaten. Tottenham getting a great result against Everton. Everton getting back-to-back defeats for the first time this season. And Wolves back to winning ways as well as Liverpool are. Right, Brighton versus Nottingham Forest. Brighton have just came off a bad loss against Brentford, getting beat 2-0. But if truth be told, I think Brighton played very well that game. I felt the Brentford goalkeeper, David Raya, performed really well. I think Brighton had 6-7 shots on target. I don't think Brighton had that many. I think Brighton had a couple. I think they had 3 or 4. But I think Brighton played quite well. I just think, that first goal was pure class really. And then you've got the penalty, which I think was a penalty. So I think I think it was quite an equal game. You can have your opinion, but I think it was quite an equal game. Nottingham Forest, on the other hand, another defeat for them. A painful one as well. They missed a penalty. Brennan Johnson missed a penalty. I think it was like the 80th minute. Josie saw saved a cracking penalty off him. But I think for this one, I can see this being a 0-0, it should be told. We move on to Crystal Palace versus Wolves. Crystal Palace just got quite an average point against Leicester. I'll look at the stats in that game really. And Crystal Palace, I don't think even had a go, and I think at times this season, I think Crystal Palace have let themselves go a bit really and have these sort of average performances. Because I think Crystal Palace should be winning these games. Look at Leicester this season. I think they have the worst defence in the league. They've only won one game, and they've drew a couple on clean sheet. Those stats are relegation stats. They're really bad. So you expect teams like Crystal Palace to go in and beat them. But yeah, average point for them. And Leicester actually give that a good crack. I think how many shots on target did they have? Guaita had a brilliant game. Like 5-6 shots on target. So a great effort by Leicester, but a poor point that is for Crystal Palace. And then you've got Wolves who have just won against Nottingham Forest. So this game, I think the 1-1's accurate. I think 1-1 is accurate. Brentford as a take on Chelsea. This game, I think that this game last season, Ben Chilwell scored in 1-1-0. But Brentford have just came. I must say, had a great performance that game. Not like this season. He's on the bench and kept us outperforming. But Brentford, have just beat Brighton 2-0. It's a great result for them. Ivan Toney at the double again. He's on fire this season. Ivan Toney, he's on absolute fire. He most likely will get an England squad, most likely. So that's a great result for them. Chelsea have just won against Aston Villa 2-0. Mason Mount at the double, another person at the double. But you know what? You look at the stats, look at their stats. 6-7 shots on target. Kepa had the game of his life. He's saving left, right, everywhere. He was incredible. I think on a silver score, I think we got an 8 or 9, but great performance by him. Really kept them in the game because if they had to put them away, then you're Chelsea are screwed. It's 2-2. So for me, I think as I said before, I think Brentford will play. I feel it's going to be an even game, so I think this one. I think it's going to be 1-0 Chelsea or 2-0. I'm going to go 2-0 Chelsea. 2-0. Liverpool as they take on West Ham. Now Liverpool have had the problems this season. Don't get me wrong. They've had the defensive problems. They've had the problems where they just look like luster up front. Salah taking criticism for not being as good as he was last season. But they got a really good result against Man City. In that resulted in Man City's first defeat of the season. I might have to think that was Man City's first defeat of this season in the Premier League. No, in all competition, but in the Premier League. It could have been 2. Salah missed well, actually it could have been 3 because Darwin Núñez had a chance as well, and it could have been 3 or 4. I thought Liverpool played really well this game. Don't get me wrong, they had a goal disallowed and whatnot. I think it's fair. I don't know because I only seen it once. I'll have to look at it again. But I thought Liverpool were great this game against City. Darwin Núñez, I don't know what to think about him. I really don't. I don't think he's the bee's knees, as people say. Only a couple of goals to his name this season in the Premier League. But enough of the waffling. West Ham got a poor result against Southampton. I felt Southampton had some really good chances. That Che Adams just can't hit a ball recently. In FPL terms, he's blanked in 6-7 games now. So for me, I'm probably going to go 1-1. I think West Ham is going to put this 1-1. Newcastle versus Everton. Newcastle are unbeaten in the last 6. That last defeat was against Liverpool, being 2-1. Now that game, as we know, caused lots of controversy. With added time, there were some poor decisions. You got the Isak goal, which was disallowed. So Isak scored in his debut, did down his brace. And they look brilliant. A good point against Old Trafford. Despite Man United missing some big chances. The Fred chance, the Rashford chance, which is probably bigger than the Fred chance, to be told. Although 2 of them were big. And then obviously Newcastle fans will go into that thinking they can win this. And then you got Everton with back-to-back defeats for the first time this season. Getting beat Man United 2-1 and then getting beat off Tottenham 2-0. But you know what? I didn't even think Everton even played that bad. They had some really big chances in that first half. The second half, they mainly just defended, and I think that's why they got beat. Hojbjerg scored a great goal. But I'm going to go at 2-1 Newcastle. I think Everton will score, despite having the best defence in the league. I think Everton will score. Maybe someone like Alex will be on Mopey, but yeah, I'm going to go 2-1 Newcastle. Bournemouth as to take on Southampton. Now, Bournemouth are unbeaten in, I think, 5-6 games now. They're on some run at the minute. Bournemouth, they've got a good point against Fulham. And obviously they beat Leicester as well. They're on some really good form at the minute. So I think they're going in the right direction. But that form can easily turn around and turn into be an absolute disaster. Southampton, who have backed highly to get relegated this season, got actually a really good point against West Ham. A really good point. They could have actually even won the game. They had some big chances. I thought against West Ham, Che Adams, like you saw, can hit a barn door at the minute. If you hadn't put them away, it could have been 3-1. But for me, I'm going to go 1-1. I think Bournemouth will go unbeaten in the 7 games, but I think it will come to an end at one point. It's the big one. It's arguably the biggest of the match week. It's Man United versus Tottenham. It's a top of the table clash. Man United just got a point against Newcastle, which I think actually quite a good point for them, really. Newcastle improved massively this season. The stats will back me up on that. And then you've got Tottenham, who I think have been good this season. I think they were better than what they were last season. But I just think I don't know. I think Tottenham set back a good bit. Sometimes I didn't like how the way they played in that in that Arsenal game in the North London Derby. I thought they played pretty negative in that game. And I thought against Brighton, they were quite mediocre as well. I thought they scooped a point there. I felt in those games right there, I think, was when they defended a lot. You know, I think you look at those performances and they're like, well, you know, I know else pack them to maybe to even win the league, but with those performances there, you can't really do that, can you? You know, we can't really win trophies with sitting back, which I believe in, which we've seen before in the Euros. So I think I'm gonna go 1-1. Man United and Tottenham 1-1. Fulham versus Aston Villa. Fulham just got a draw against Bournemouth. Who, as we know, are in great form at the minute. Gary O'Neill, 4 wonders there. I think they've looked a bit soppy recently. Fulham, how many goals have they conceded now in the last 2 or 3 games? What is it? 7 or something? 7 or 8 in the last 3 games. Not good enough. Villa. Now, last night, obviously I follow that football on Twitter. They reported that Steven Gerrard, well, by the foot you say, reported that Steven Gerrard was supposed to be sacked. Now, by the time this video goes out, which probably in a couple of hours, you know, he might well be sacked. So they might not even have a manager, Villa, for this game. So if they don't have a manager, you've got to back Fulham, don't you? Which is why I'm going to say 2-1 to Fulham. I think, don't get me wrong, I think Villa will score, but I think Fulham will get back to winning ways. 2-1 Fulham. Last but not least, Leicester City as they take on Leeds United at the King Power. I think Leicester are going to be up for it, you know. I think, and I could be calling it saying this because I thought they were going to beat Bournemouth, which they didn't, like when they beat Nottingham Forest 4-0. But I think they'll be up for it. I think they performed pretty well against Palace. You know, I didn't watch the game, but I judge from the stats of players and whatnot. You know, the game, obviously, I think they defended really well. I think they created some big chances. So I'm going to back them to win. Leeds, on the other hand, though, I think I don't know what's going on with Leeds at the minute. You know, at the start of the season, they look really good. They won the first game of the season. They beat Wolves. They beat Chelsea 3-0. So I don't know what's going on with Leeds at the minute. It's a penalty against Arsenal as well. If they scored that would have been a really good point. But yeah, they ruled that ban for missing that. But for me, I'm going to see 2-1 Leicester. 2-1 Leicester, which is a bit of a shock, but I'm going to see 2-1 Leicester. And that is that for this match week 12. Let's hope to God this match week's better. Because last match week was absolutely dreadful, I think. Don't get me wrong, the Marks got a good result because obviously I support them. But you know, you could compare the Liverpool Man City's game to last season. That was so much better. It was so end to end. While this season, I felt City were quite mediocre in that first half. But yeah, that's just my opinion. I don't think Liverpool versus City lived up to the hype as it normally is. It's normally a cracker. I don't think it was as good. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this video.